Man, some news just came down. Conchar just suffered a torn ACL in his left knee.
Jeez.
Man, I was gonna say something, but you'll get killed for what I said. YouTube, Glow Yard Gang, MFFLs, podcast listeners all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of We Talk Mavs, where we encourage you. Nope, wrong show. When we talk Mavs from a fan's perspective, listen, man, it's been one of the mornings, man. Back-to-back shows. Listen, man, it is your boy Rail, and joining me is the guy that's representing the Wu-Tang Clan. Is your boy King. What up, man?
Not much, bro. The Wu and Wakanda both together. So, but we got a special guest today, bro.
And he is gone now. I don't know what he probably has some technical difficulty, so we're gonna probably have to wing it from here. Listen, guys, but if you're brand new to the channel, man, if you're into Dallas Maverick content, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're brand new. And also, guys, if you are watching the show, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button, guys. That'll go a long way to build up the algorithm to find more Mav fans like yourself to join the Glow Yard Gang. All right, man. We did have a special guest. I think he's having some technical difficulty right now. Let me see what's going on. So I guess we can end the show.
Shout out to JJ Barea.
Yeah, man. Shout out to JJ Barea, man. He's coaching, I think a league. A team in Puerto Rico. Man, I want to say something about the Conchar thing.
Go ahead, man.
You know we're gonna get killed if I say this.
You can have your opinion.
This is why I wanted Luka to sit down somewhere.
Yeah, because you feel like basically that same feeling that the Mavericks, that they had for the Mavericks, like when you play them, giving you all, and it's not that good of a team, you may get hurt, and it's like, I understand.
Like this is also too when we was talking about this is what we were talking about on the members only show the other day or last week I should say. When we were talking about the teams being deep and all that, and we were talking about how. That's why I was telling you, I didn't want to put no pressure on Luka, and this is why. It's like that these other teams have gotten deeper, man. Like we here talking about Canada, like Canada right now looking like the favorites to win it all, and because they literally whole entire team is full of NBA players, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They look like another version of Team USA where everybody on the team is an NBA player. You know what I'm saying? So, it's. I don't want to put that part. I want to put that pressure on Luka, and I know
they're gonna put that pressure on himself.
And that's the part that I'm scared of, man. It's like he gonna feel like he's gonna have to do a lot of carrying, man. And I don't know how they go about trying to get him help because it's not like it's the NBA to go trade with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they go about it, but
it's a catch-22. It is what it is. It is wild. It's like a little battle between Slovenian fans and Dallas fans, and it's like both of them are saying the same thing for the other side. If it makes sense, it's like, so we understand. It's like the team isn't that great over there, so we're like, we don't want Luka to get hurt, and they're like, well, it's for his as far as heritage, his nationality, and we're like, we understand that. But at the same time, he's an investment for Dallas as well. And you guys care about your Dallas Mavericks. I care about the Dallas Mavericks as well. So you're like, he's making $40 million over here, and you want him to play for you guys as well. So it would suck to. We already went through, like we said last year, to not have Luka at any part of this year, and to go into the season though he's going to be hurt or something like that would be a travesty, like coming off of last year. So it's a wild conversation, man. It's a conversation that Mark had to have. I know Noah just jumped back in, but it's a conversation Mark had to have with Dirk, and that's why we asked: is it going to be sometime where he has to have that conversation with Luka? It's not about disrespecting the Slovenian team. It's just,
But yeah, man, we got the guest on, man. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Definitely got to introduce this guy here. We got Noah Whipper from the Smoking Cuban on with us, man. Definitely appreciate him hopping on.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me.
What's good, man? What's good?
What's up? Yeah, sorry, my computer, of course, the one time I'm y'all's guest, it decided to bug. So I'm here now. So let's get to it.
Yes, sir, man. Nah, I figured that's probably what it was, man. Listen, man, we definitely appreciate your work. Like I was telling you before the show, use a couple of your articles, man, to kind of as talking points for the show. We definitely talked about the last one we did was the JaVale McGee one. We talked about that. I know that's like the name that's going around right now as far as people wanting to get rid of. The main name that we also heard that Dallas is not bringing back. We've heard that before. In any shape, form, or fashion, whether it be a trade or it be, stretch waiving or whatever the case is, he's definitely not coming back. In your opinion, man, if you had to put King's house on it, do you think what do you think is going to happen with JaVale McGee? Is he going to get traded or is he going to get cut?
He's going to get cut. I don't think. I think at this point, just because I think when it comes to the point that there's reports coming out that they're willing to waive you, like no one's going to trade for him. Like that's something that doesn't really need to be said. That doesn't need to be said. I mean, if a team out there is like, who maybe Lakers or Warriors, like wherever Phoenix, wherever a team like that, like they're not going to want to give up anything to get him just because everyone knows that Dallas is willing to waive him. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking unless it's in a package with like Tim, a couple seconds, and JaVale and some type of trade, I don't think he will not get traded by himself. If it's a package, then maybe, but no shot he gets traded alone, in my opinion.
Right. No. You're right. I don't think anybody was expecting him to get traded alone because nobody wants that. I think he's going to be like a trade filler, if you will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. But that's a good point you made. I didn't think about that. Dallas saying we're going to cut him if we can't trade him, and I could just pick you up after you get cut. I don't have to take on that $6 million or whatever it is you're getting paid. I just pay you this little simple, like was it 300,000, King? Everybody keep bringing up. But yeah, now you got a question, King?
Yeah. I got a question to piggyback off of that. I know you made an article a while back, saying is the DeAndre Ayton trade officially off the table. I just want to touch with you about that. Basically, since we talked about JaVale McGee, because I feel like JaVale McGee was a piece that kind of messed up that trade when the Mavericks and Suns were thinking about it. Do you think that's completely over? Is there no shot of us getting Ayton, or is that like a last shot in the chamber kind of thing for like Nico and them, where they know the Suns would possibly do it?
Yeah, man. Just because there's been so many conflicting reports from the draft night trade, like was it really Tim, Rashawn, and JaVale? What did that deal really look like? Because we've had people reporting both things. In my opinion, I'm thinking I think it's kind of over at this point. I think just Tim Cato a few weeks ago, he reported that the DeAndre Ayton trade is kind of dead, and Phoenix stuff from their side has been reported that they kind of want to roll with him. But of course, even if they did want to trade him, they're not going to say it. So I'm thinking it's kind of over at this point. I don't see Dallas trading for Ayton. I don't at this point, but I think there's always still a shot because we've seen crazier things in the NBA. Like Donovan Mitchell was traded. What was it, like really late into last offseason? So who knows? But I'm not seeing it at this point right now.
That sucks. That sucks for me. I really wanted DeAndre Ayton, especially if we were going to have a guy in front of Lively. I felt like DeAndre Ayton was a perfect guy to have on the team. But, I guess the Mavericks.
So no, you think we still gonna be able to get Clint Capella?
Man, that's another good question too. I I don't know, man. I think at this point they're kind of. I don't think they're going to be mad if they're rolling with DP, Lively, and Holmes. I really don't. I don't think.
Mm.
I don't think
No,
that
my
that's
next
a
question.
problem. Yeah, I don't think that they'll be mad about that. Honestly, just been that there's been some stuff reported that they'd be if they can't trade for a starting big, then they're content with the center platoon, whatever the strategy they've been using for forever, since the Dwight Powell era. So I'm kind of thinking that I could see us getting involved as like a third team in a trade, but who knows? I could see us maybe striking up in an individual deal with Atlanta because I don't think they want him anymore. I think that they just want a Kongwu to step up there.
Start.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because
Well,
I said this on the last show. I feel like Atlanta is more desperate to get rid of Capella than we are to get Capella. I kind of feel that. We can say, King?
I was just going to ask you to piggyback off the last point you made. If that's the case, shout out to Richard and the Glow Yard gang. I know he's going to laugh at this question, but what's the pecking order of center then for the Dallas Mavericks?
Man.
You see in your eyes, and about how many minutes you see as far as the distribution in your eyes, as far as what you hear.
man. So I'm pulling up Basketball Reference real quick so I can look at DP's minutes from last year because it really wasn't crazy. Like, yes,
No, it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, Dwight Powell is not a starting center in the NBA. Like
What?
everyone knows that at this point. Like, yeah, everyone knows he's not a starting caliber big at this point. Like he'd be whatever, great backup, but he's not a starting caliber big. So DP was playing 19 minutes a game last year. Man, I don't know. I mean, Mark Cuban seems to have high hopes for Holmes too, and we got to develop D Live too. So I'll say
Does he start?
Does DP start or Holmes?
Does DP
DP
start?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does. I think
knew
he
it.
does. That's just what I'm seeing it like.
I'm owed an apology by a lot of people, but it's all good. This is what I was afraid of, Noah. I said this when we re-signed him, and people were telling me, "Oh no, he's gonna be the 85th guy off the bench," and I kept trying to tell them, I was like, "Bro, there's nah. I need to see that to believe that."
Believe it.
But track record is showing us that kid loved this guy so much, and chances are he's gonna end up starting over whoever we put it. Unless, like I said, unless we get like Capella or we get DeAndre Ayton or somebody like that. I had a feeling Dwight Powell's gonna start again.
Yeah.
He shouldn't start. Like you said, he shouldn't start. I don't know why we won't just put Rashawn Holmes in that position to let him start. But
is Rashawn the odd man out though, or is Lively then the odd man out?
Man, we got to see which Holmes we get, man, because ever since they traded for Sabonis, I mean, he's been a non-factor. So I think, who knows? Like, what if we get the Rashawn Holmes from a few seasons ago that was averaging 14 and 8? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and almost 2 blocks. Like, that's the Holmes that we could get. We got to see because it's going to be interesting with that center rotation. Because I mean, Lively, of course, they're not going to draft him if they don't want him to be their starting big eventually. Like, that's what they want. But I think it's going to take a year or two. So I think it's going to be I could see Holmes passing DP in the rotation, but in my opinion, as much as I would want Derek Lively to start and just getting on the same page with Luka and Kyrie and Mavericks rolling with it, because I mean, why not? Like, throw him into the fire, let's see what he can do. Not necessarily got to play crazy minutes, but like he's our guy. But I'm thinking it's hard to say that D Live's the odd man out, but I think that Holmes and DP are going to be ahead of him to start the year. That's what I see right now.
So you see us playing 3 centers?
I don't know. I think that Derek Lively is going to kind of get some spot minutes, but who knows? It's really hard to predict right now because just 3 bigs that like we don't need Dwight to play, but like 3 bigs that will play. Like that's just going to be be something that we're going to just have to get used to, and who knows? But I think Derek Lively by the end of the year, he's going to be getting some better minutes like last season, kind of what we saw with Hardy, where he wasn't playing as much at the beginning of the year and everyone was like, play Hardy. And then he started going crazy in the G League. And then he was finally like one of our best scorers off the bench, most consistent 3-point shooter. Like, I think that Lively by the end of the year, he'll be getting his chance with fighting for some minutes better than it is at the beginning. Because at the beginning, I really don't see him getting crazy minutes, especially in close games.
So G League.
Oh, it's a cuss word.
I know, but I mean, you don't want to just have him sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We actually ran a story on our site earlier this morning. One of our writers, Jaron, he ran a story about it, kind of just breaking down what we could see from Lively and if he's going to play in the G League. Man, I don't know because I don't quote me on this. Did he say something about them not playing in the G League?
Just about to say that, Noah.
Noah, but remember last year when they traded the first round pick for Christian Wood? Allegedly, he was in Nico's plans as far as being a big piece and helping out and taking JB's point production and things like that. So just because I've heard it being said doesn't mean the Mavericks won't do it. That's why I sent the question because
wait, you said, or sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I know that Nico said that they won't be playing in the G League and he doesn't expect that. But like I said, last year we heard that about Christian Wood, that Christian Wood was going to be the guy that takes production and all that from Jalen Brunson, and that didn't end up happening. You know, from day one, but even before Christian Wood knew, Jason Kidd said he was a bench guy that had to earn minutes or something like that, and other guys didn't. So that's why I asked you the question, because even though Nico said it, I still don't trust that the Mavericks are going to do it.
Yeah, man, I'm not. Yeah, that is a good point. Just because he said it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. Who knows? I don't think it would be horrible to have him in the G League. Like, yeah, it's kind of unusual. Like, he's a lottery pick, but like, I mean, we've seen some like what pick was Johnny Davis? Like, then he has not panned out for Washington, and like he spent some time. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing for him to play in the G League because I mean, look what it did for Hardy. Like Hardy is like one of our, I'd say, 3 or 4 guys that can create their own shot. Like Jaden Hardy can create his own shot as much as anyone. And like, who knows? What if he didn't play as much in the G League? He's coming in and he's not as confident. And I mean, playing 8 minutes a night or whatever before he got that minutes increase, like he's not going to be the same player that he was down the stretch in March and April. So I wouldn't think it would be bad to put D-Live in the G League. And I think that he's such a team first, just great guy. He's so bought in that I don't think he'd be mad if he wants to do whatever it takes to win. So,
yeah, I mean, you're right on the serve. I don't want to see him go down there, man.
I don't either.
It's because it's. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that it doesn't take much for somebody to look better than Dwight Powell as a starting center on our team, and that's how we feel like we need a starting center because we don't see Dwight Powell as a starting center. So we feel like even if you threw Lively in there in the fire at the beginning, at some point, I feel like with his skill and ability, he'll be at least comparable or better than Dwight Powell. So you don't want him going to the G League. The issue is they gave Dwight Powell a 3-year contract, and they love him and they want him to be a starter. That's how I feel.
And two, like what him going to the G, like you said, he was a lottery pick, projected top 10. Him going to the G League, what does that do for his confidence? You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, hey, you drafted me this high, I should be in the rotation compared to, okay, you drafted me this high, but you sending me down. Like, you don't, I feel like you don't trust, you know what I mean? Like, what would that do to his confidence as far as you send him down to the G League? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think definitely it could be a confidence. It could decrease his confidence a little bit, but I'm gonna push back. But what if it motivates him? Just like I mean, yeah. What if it goes the other way? You know what I mean? And Jaden Hardy, when he was in the G League, he just went nuts, like 40 bombs. Like Jaden Hardy proved to everyone like why he was a top 2 high school player, and like Derek Lively, same thing. Like we're having back-to-back drafts where we're getting top high school prospects, and I'm really thinking he's going to pan out. And King, that's a great point. Just about that. Do you think year one? I'm going to ask you this. Do you think year one that D-Live could prove that he's better than DP? Could you see that happening?
Oh
yeah, I can see the beginning of the year him starting and being like, just if he can do what he did, anything close to the summer league for us, he's already better than Dwight Powell.
Yeah. Just because the Mavericks so bad need a rim protector and a rebounder, and DP doesn't protect the rim and he doesn't rebound. So
nope.
Yeah,
and if he gets, let's just say he stays up and he gets 18 minutes a game, like what do you see his numbers projecting to be?
Lively?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think. One second. I'm looking at Powell stats real quick so I can compare.
Not hard.
Yeah, he's
hard.
gonna. I think. I mean,
like so, like what numbers would be like? It don't gotta be like a far-fetched number, but like what numbers would look good to you to have you feel like, okay, he can start.
so he's coming off the bench at this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
18 off the
Okay.
bench.
18 off the bench. Okay, man, if he's coming in and he's blocking a couple shots. I'll say like a block, like 7 boards, 6 points. Like
Okay.
he's not gonna come in and score a bunch. Like
Right.
like he is not gonna be a stat sheet filler. Like yes, I think he's gonna block a bunch of shots and he defers everything around the rim. Like anything that's in the paint, like he's affecting that. Like he just his huge wingspan, like what is it, 7'7", something like that.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you in the summer league, if you watch any drive that was in the paint, like and they're seeing him in the paint, like they're not wanting to come like attack as much. Like he affects the other team's offensive game plan just because he's down there. And I think,
Yep.
yeah, I don't like there's gonna be a lot of stuff that he does that isn't gonna come up on the stat sheet. Like he talks
I can see
probably more
that.
than anyone on this team, and he hasn't even
Yep.
played a real game yet. Like
Yep.
we need to like he is such a leader defensively, and the Mavericks haven't had that because no one wants to guard. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
think that having him he's going to be a defensive leader. I'd be happy with 7 rebounds. He doesn't even maybe catch a couple lobs, like 7, 8 points, something like
Yeah.
that. Like
You going wild. I was being, I guess, more generous than you. I say 5-5-1. If he can
yeah,
give me 5-5-1, he's already better in 18 minutes than Dwight Powell.
Mm.
yeah,
That's what's that? Dwight gave you 5 points this year, 4 rebounds,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
like
GP, yeah, 19 minutes a game, 6.7 points
it's
and
okay.
4 boards. So yeah,
4 boards.
yeah,
Five
we
five
don't
and
need
one.
him. Yeah.
I'm fine. He should be starting if he get to 5-5-1. I'd be like,
Look-
okay, let's let this guy start.
And two, to kind of piggyback what you said, Noah, you saw what he did in summer league when his minutes started going up in each game, and you saw the effect that he had. Kind of like what you were saying, just his defensive presence and the way he communicates already. He ain't even did a actual NBA game yet. He's doing that in summer league, and you saw the effect that he had. That was winning a 4-game win streak after that. Once his minutes started going up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, nah,
Yep.
I agree with you, man, and I think that's why a lot of Matt fans are kind of excited to kind of want to get him in there like right now, because like you said, we ain't had that probably since Tyson Chandler. So when you see him doing that at a young age, and you saw what Dwight Powell did last year, it's like I can see why people are like, "Yo, just throw him on in there and let's see what he can do." But I think King had brought a point up, I think on the last show, of we talked about before with centers in the NBA. It takes them a little longer to kind of get acclimated to the NBA. It's a lot of times they're not just like, let me come out the gate and I'm dominating. We had, Walker Kessler kind of was the closest to that last year. He still got you 9 and 8. He was very solid in his first year, but most times centers are taking about 2, maybe 3 years to kind of say, okay, now I got it now. And so would you be mad if it took him that long to
How
finally
many
kind of
years did you say
maybe
2 to 3.
2 or 3?
to break the starting lineup?
No, I mean just to kind of like finally click with him.
Oh, to finally
to put those
get
numbers
going?
up that we kind of expect him to put up here in the future.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be mad about that because like you got to give him some time to develop because like yeah, just like you were kind of saying, there's not many bigs across the NBA that come in and they're the starter in the playoffs. Like
Right.
that's just not how it is. It's usually an established big that's been in the league for a while. So I would not be mad if it took him a little while because I think I'm so confident that he can be the starting big man of the future here. And
Yeah.
like, yes, our window, like this summer we built for the future, but we also built for like now. You know what I mean? Like just because Kyrie and Luka's window, who knows? Like Kyrie could decline his player option after 2 seasons and be gone. And like, how's Luka gonna feel about that? Like, it's all about. It's a really hard toss up. Just of you got to build for the future, but you also got to build for right now. Yeah, so it's a really hard toss up, and I think Dallas did a decent job of doing both. They did a good job of doing both this summer. But to answer your question, long story short, I wouldn't be mad if it took 2 seasons, just because that's kind of expected.
It sounds like you're saying a general manager has to do his job.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, but we have the motto, and Nico we trust on this show, so we believe in Nico. But let me ask you another question: do you think the Mavericks are done with all their trades for the rest of the offseason?
Man, I think yes, unless there's a route to get Capella, which I think would be as a third team in a trade, like if Atlanta were to go for Siakam or something.
Okay.
I I think I think we could get Capella in a 3-team trade, but I just don't see us with a straight up trade with Atlanta landing Capella. I just don't. But I mean, the Mavericks' biggest priority right now is landing a starting center. But personally, if I have to go with my gut, I think we're done with the trades this summer.
Okay. And with everything that's been talked about with Capella and all the trades I've been seeing, I haven't seen any center attached to the trade other than JaVale McGee. If that happens, how do we run with the center rotation then?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's so weird because the Mavericks extended DP before they could obviously it's not going to be too much of a money burden cutting JaVale, but I just thought it was interesting because we took on Holmes on draft night. We drafted Lively. Everyone and their mom know that we're going to re-sign DP. It was just a really weird situation. I've thought about that too, just because we'd have four bigs at that point. I think if they're going to trade for a starting big, they have to find a way probably to attach Holmes. I think that would be the goal for them because there were reports. I'd have to pull it up just that we were looking to trade Holmes. Like, yeah, he was a part of the Aiton talks and all
trade.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think it's September 5th maybe that we can officially trade Holmes. I
Yeah.
think there's some weird thing about it, but yeah, man, if we're trading for a starting big, Holmes has got to be in there because imagine if D Live is the fourth big in the rotation. That's a waste of a number 12 pick. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
they gotta attach Holmes if they're gonna trade for a guy like Capella.
So other than starting center, what else do you think we need to?
They need another wing defender. Yeah, gotta get another wing defender. Hopefully with some size. Like, yes, Matisse was only 6'5", but that wingspan and just his defensive ability, man, that would have been the dream. Like, I think if we could have traded JaVale before then, and if we had the full MLE, like, do y'all think we would have thrown the full? Like, would we have thrown the full MLE at Matisse?
Looking at what we have now, I would have.
Yeah. So
I think that was a plan to throw the full MLE.
Yeah. I'd love just we need one more wing defender. Like, why have we not heard anything about like Diallo? Like, why are we hearing the Mavs are interested in Malik Beasley and the Noel rumors got smashed or whatever? Like, those weren't real. But like, man, why are we like Diallo, like a wing defender? Yeah, he's a little undersized to play the three, but like they need another guy that can guard because when you're bringing Curry and Hardy and there's one other guard where I'm having a total brain fart. Yeah, Exum can guard a little bit, but like just our bench guards, they can't really play defense. Like we need one more. We need some positional size, like just some size. Because like if you go look at Holmes, like and DP, they're both a little bit undersized, and we need some positional size and a wing defender, just a guy that can come off the bench and just guard like crazy. You know what I mean? Because
I was going to ask you who defends the guards other than Josh Green on this team right now. I don't know. And with that being said, Jaden Hardy in his position, where does he line up right now with Tim Hardaway Jr. still being on the team, with Exum now being that guy that may have to defend off the bench, like we said? So maybe he has a niche, so he has to be played. And then you already have who else? Seth Curry now as well. So what's going on with Jaden Hardy as far as Tim Hardaway Jr. staying on this team? Doesn't that mess up his development? I've been hearing he may even go back to the G League.
Jaden Hardy?
Yes.
Yeah, he does not need to be in the G League.
Jaden
Hardy, he does not need to be in the G League. But what I was
Damaris.
Yeah. Man, I looking at like that was the name that I forgot to mention is THJ. Just man, because all three of those guards coming off the bench, they can't really guard. Like, just back to our last point, but coming back to your question right now, man, I don't know because as much as I hate to say it, Tim's better right now, in my opinion, and I think Seth might be better. So I think that he definitely is that third guard in that pecking order. No matter how, I think that Jaden Hardy, I think he has 6 man of the year potential. Like, that's how good I think he is. But I think with the Mavericks wanting to win right now, they kind of need Seth Curry when he was in Dallas last 45% clip from downtown.
Yep.
That is unheard of. And that's kind of been an underrated signing. Like, people don't realize, like, man, you see all those open looks that Reggie got last year. Yeah, I think he ended up shooting 38%, but man, it
Right.
was brutal
Yep.
sometimes. It was brutal to just watch Reggie and those bricks, and man, just Seth Curry getting those same open looks is scary. It's scary.
Money.
But yeah.
Yep. And I think we believe like the same thing with Jaden Hardy, 6th man of the year potential. I think that's why you have to. I kind of said the same thing. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. may be better right now as just a regular role NBA player. But I feel like with the development that Jaden Hardy had last year, that if you let Jaden Hardy play this year, by the end of this year, he should be better than Tim Hardaway Jr. And then we didn't even include Exum in that conversation we just had. We talked about Seth and all, but like, if Exum is a defender, doesn't that push Jaden Hardy to the 4th guard?
Yeah, man, it's tough. We got to see how Exum is. We got to see how he is playing back in the NBA. I mean, he has great length. He should be able to come in and guard, because it's a defensive nightmare when we're looking at our guards and we're listing Luka, Kyrie, Jaden Hardy, Tim Hardaway, Seth Curry. Like, who's gonna guard, man? Who's gonna guard? Like,
gotta be Exum.
Yeah, it's got to be Exum, and that's why they got to find a way to move Tim. They got to find a way to move Tim.
No, I agree.
He was playing good basketball at the end of the year last year. I think that he fits in well next to Luka and Kyrie, just because he knocks down tough shots. He knocks down tough shots, like, regardless of how sometimes he's a chucker and he's a little inefficient. Like, Tim Hardaway can be a bucket getter when he wants to and just catch fire. And I think that just it's going to be interesting to see. Like, just they need to move him, just because, like we're saying, like, he can't guard. Like, we already have Seth and Jaden Hardy, who, like, we'd want, like, I'm sure all three of us want to see in that rotation. Yep. So they gotta find a way to move Tim. It just makes the most sense when it comes to Hardy, because, I mean, why trade into the draft last year just to have him come in and be whatever, not even playing? Like, if he was playing the same minutes that he was playing at the end of the year, who knows? He could have been on an all-rookie team.
Yep.
Man, I definitely agree with you. I think that's probably why they were so big on Matisse Thybulle, because, like what King was just saying, you do need somebody that's going to be able to guard those 2s and those 3s, because you want to try to take as much defensive pressure off of Luka and Kyrie.
The ones and them 2s.
Yeah, sorry, the 1s and the 2s.
We only got we don't nobody to defend the 1 either. Steph Curry and Damian Lillard and all those guys off the bat.
Yeah,
Josh Green, and then who else?
Because now that we ask these questions, man, I'm like, do y'all think that this is maybe a 2-year process with this team and how they're building it?
I think they need to they got to go sign somebody off the waivers, like just a free agent. Like, that's why I'm looking at like a Kelly Oubre or so, if we can get him for the low. Just somebody that may have a renaissance, but has potential. I feel like you got to go grab that last guy as that wing position, like that guard type guy. Somebody that can
maybe go get Derrick Jones Jr. like everybody.
Derrick Jones Jr. Somebody.
Yeah,
just somebody that can be that guy. Yep.
Yeah.
You need somebody that can be something.
Yeah, because I'm with you. I'm a little nervous now, man. Because I just named off all our guards or whatever, and I'm like, who? Like you just said, who gonna guard the Dames and the Steph Currys and all that, man? I don't.
Josh Green.
Man, is it like who gonna back him up? He can't play all 48 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So
and then you're gonna need Grant and all to help you with the bigger guys and all. So it's like, Omax. I'm sorry, I should ask you about Omax. What's your idea on Omax? Hopefully, Omax can be a guy to come here and defend 1 through 5.
Yeah, Omax is gonna. I think he'll play right away. That's kind of it just feels like a match made in heaven. Like, I think he is gonna be. He's going to be better than Dorian was for us eventually. Like, he's going to be better than Dorian was for us eventually, just because I think his feet are a little quicker. I don't think he could develop into that same level of shooter. I think Dorian at one point was hovering somewhere around 39% in the season for us. Dorian was really, really efficient for us toward the back years of his time here. I think he can be better than Dorian, man. He can create his own shot a little bit just because he can get to the cup. And Dorian at first was just kind of more 3 and D. I think we might see a little bit of Omax struggling to do that just a little bit, playing against NBA level and these top wings in the league. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to score off the dribble like he was in summer league and get to the cup and all that. But I think he's going to be an effective piece to use in the rotation. I see him playing right away for sure. Just because he's such a good defender. Like I'm super excited about what he's going to bring to this team.
Yeah, because I was telling people I think his ceiling can be Pascal Siakam.
Yeah,
like I think he's in that same vein as Pascal. Just watching him here in summer league, he played just like Pascal. Like you said, the way he can dribble the ball, can get to the basket, can utilize his size, his length. He can guard 1 through 5 and all that. I feel like he can be a Pascal Siakam type of player, and that'd be great for us. Well, Pascal with a better shot. If he can, like you said, if he can develop his shot, start with developing your corner threes first, and then work your way around the perimeter, kind of like what Dodo did when he first kind of started learning how to shoot. Kind of work on your corner threes and then work your way from there. You're gonna get a whole lot of corner threes, a whole lot more than you're gonna get the top of the key threes. So, if you can develop that, man, then listen.
I got a hot take for you, bro. For both of y'all, I think his ceiling defensively better than Pascal's. I think Omax had a chance to be a defensive player of the year.
I could see it. We saw it in summer league. Like a lot of guys weren't scoring on him in summer league. I think I probably can remember like maybe 1, maybe 2 buckets scored on him the whole entire summer league. Like the dude's pretty good at defense. Like I just when I say Pascal, I'm not saying he's gonna be exactly. I'm just saying kind of in that mode. In that mode. You know what I mean?
Pascal Siakam, that mode, the type of player, that type of dude. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, and then like maybe if you give him 2, maybe 3 years, he could be a tertiary ball handler. Maybe like how they're going to use Grant Williams this year. Because I'm hearing they're going to try to use him as maybe a third, kind of like a Draymond Green type of ball handler or whatever within the offense. Like I could probably see that.
I can see it too.
Yeah,
I've seen everything in the summer league. Why not?
Yeah.
Like if they want to develop this stuff, let them develop it. Depending on what the team wants them to do.
Like I think they're gonna focus more on the like I think Nico kind of said it. They're gonna focus more on the defense this year. Like that offensive stuff will come down the line. Kind of like when Noah said, like don't expect him to be taking dudes off the dribble like he's Scottie Pippen or somebody. Year one. Like he might develop that going towards the end of the season, but kind of let's just let him develop it. Right now, we need your defense, your energy, and your rebounding. Right now, we need that from both our rookies this year, man. I think they both can do that this year compared to maybe 2-3 years down the line they'll start working on the offense or whatever.
You said Josh Howard, plays run.
Yeah,
that type of player. I think that's how Omax gonna be.
There you go, right there. Perfect example.
Yeah.
What did Avery tell him? Do you
defense?
Do your defense, and then the rest of that'll come. And then we saw what happened. He was getting you 20 points a game. So yeah, I agree. You got another question?
I'm good, man. Noah's been. I know that the Glow ought to give us more questions that we haven't thought of. If you want to start running through them.
Oh yeah, we can do that, man. Hold on, let me do this, man.
One more thing about Omax real quick.
Go ahead.
The way he moves is like crazy for his size and length. Like not many people that size and length like can move like that. Like they're just wanting to kind of it's crazy. Like he is dumb athletic too. Like he's gonna be nice. Like Mavs fans should be excited. Mavs fans should be excited because it hurt so bad losing Dorian last February or this February. Like it hurt just because Dorian was such a fan favorite. Like you could tell, man, at that presser in Brooklyn, he was like, it hurt, man. It hurt. And like basketball is a business. And like now we land one of the most talented point guards that we've ever seen in Kyrie Irving. Just crazy talent. And Kyrie to pair with Luka. But man, losing Dorian hurt. But basketball's a business. And I mean, they were desperate. They had to make some type of move.
Hey, you think that's why Dennis Smith went over there to kind of
out of Brooklyn? That's his boy. The Smith connection, right?
Oh yeah, DSJ and Dorian. Yeah, yeah. Man, I wanted DSJ here.
A lot of people did. But
I want his jersey to be one of the jerseys to get retired. But who knows with Mark Cuban? But I have another question for you though, Noah. Now that I thought about it, you think Kyrie and Luka is going to work? I didn't even ask you that.
Ooh, man, I don't see why not, but they gotta add another wing defender because they were so bad defensively. Like, we could put up 120 points, but other teams gonna put up 125. Like, there's got to be a player that can play 35 plus minutes a night that can play with those two, man. Because losing Reggie, like as much of a whip it was watching him sometimes at the end of the year, just because, man, it was hard to watch. Just His jumper did not look good. Like we needed it. Like we were asking a lot of Reggie, and like especially in the playoffs, we were asking a lot of Reggie, and a lot of people they're not realizing just like we're talking about. Like he was the one to take the Steph Currys and chase him around and whatnot, and now we don't have a player that's going to do that. So it's gonna be interesting. I think they can work. I really do. I really think they can. But there's got to be some more moves because right now I kind of see them as I'll say like a definitely not a top 4 seed in the West. I think more of like a sit. I don't think they're a play-in team. Maybe a play-in team, but I could see 6 through 8 is kind of their range right now.
That's better than last year.
Yeah, definitely better than last year. No, I was gonna say too to kind of piggyback off of that. I think a lot of it is going to answer King's question. I think a lot of it's going to do with the way Jason Kidd utilized the offense. Like if you have those guys, like I said before, if you have one guy standing in the corner while the other guy's just handling the ball, it's not gonna help. You got to find a way to get those guys. Remember we talked about too, King. You put those guys in a 2-man game.
Yep.
Put them in a 2-man game, and see what they can do with that. You gotta find a way to utilize them both at the same time to open the offense up. So if they can do that, I think that they can, flirt with like a top 4 seed in the West. Then on top of that, with the motivation of Luka, we saw the tweet that Kyrie just did a couple of days ago, right? Like I think with those two players being motivated the way they are, Luka coming in better shape and all that stuff, and they both getting a training camp together, I think that can help.
Oh yeah,
I have
for sure.
I have a fill in the blank for you, Noah. Before we go to the questions and comments, just answer one word. Jason Kidd is a blank coach.
Dang. All right, I'm gonna have to explain. After. But I'm gonna say a good coach. I'm not gonna say great, man, because yes, last year there was a lot of head scratching stuff and just and pressers. Just some of those answers are like, man, what are you talking about? Like what I'm just watching or whatever. Man, you're managing the team. Like,
yep.
You control what's going on. Like the head coach is a huge process of a basketball team's success. But I'm gonna say he's a good coach, man, because the way he coached that team on the 2022 Western Conference Finals run, man, just one of my favorite clips is that mic'd up in the Phoenix series, like stay home, don't he was coaching that team out of his mind. Like that team, like there was no way, like number 1 seed Phoenix Suns, like our backs are against the wall, 0-2. And I mean, obviously Luka was Luka, but man, the way he coached that team was nuts. And I'm gonna say good for now. Last year was a disaster, and he had a lot of head scratching moments and quotes, and it did not look good. But I'm not gonna go to the extent and say he's a bad coach. Yeah, none.
I got you. I feel the same way. I feel like you can't discredit the Western Conference Finals run as much as you want to. As much as last year hurt, like that year was incredible. We hadn't been there in forever, and he has to get credit for that. So I'm fine with that.
Definitely a tale of two seasons.
Is his feet
complete opposite?
Are his feet in the fire right now? And if they aren't, should they be?
I don't think so. I don't think his feet are in the fire. I think that he's our guy for now. I'm not sure exactly what his contract is. I'm gonna have to go look at it. I don't know how many years we have him.
I think it was 4 years.
4 years? Okay. I don't think they should be either yet, just because this window, we got to win. Dallas has to win right now. And having a coach on the hot seat, bringing in a first-year coach for Kyrie's contract year when he could opt out, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I don't think his feet are in the fire. I think he's our guy. And yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that. I don't think he should be in the hot seat at all. I think that we got a little bit of a new look team, just bringing in a couple role players. I hope we don't ask Grant to do too much, just because Grant's best because like if you look in Boston, he was never like, I think a lot of Mavs fans will say he's the 3rd, 4th best player on the team. Like Boston, it was a totally different scenario. Like, you know what I mean? He was averaging like 8 points a game. So hopefully Mavs fans aren't expecting Grant Williams to be a franchise, a needle mover, as you could say. But
I just want 10 points, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be.
I'd be fine with 10 points from Grant Williams.
Can I get 12?
Yep, that's what I was about to say. We need more than
There we
10.
go.
We need more
12.
than 10.
Yeah, I need 12 at least.
I'd be fine with 10 if he's the guy that's always going to stop guys in the paint. If you talking about he got to play beside Dwight Powell, and he's the guy that got to body him up and all, like, hey man, like I can't expect him to keep scoring, but 12 is fine. That's perfectly fine with me. But Grant, the follow up last thing, I know I keep saying last thing. If Jason Kidd has a bad year again, though, should he be on the high seat?
What do you define as a bad year?
Like last year.
So if we miss the play-in entirely?
Yep, or we're like
horrible
he's got a season, and it's like we look like we're like 500 or maybe around it, a little bit under or something like that.
Then he definitely deserves to be on the hot seat. But I think Luka Doncic is so good, and I think we're going to see a different Luka that we've ever seen. That I think something crazy would have to happen for us to have a season like we did last year. I think that I don't see that happening. But I think if that were to happen, then yeah, he's got to be on the hot seat. But then what does that mean for Luka and Kyrie's future together? Because like, what if 2 years? Like that's it. Like he could opt out after his second year, and the Luka and Kyrie pairing could be over, and we just wasted 2.5 series of Luka Doncic's career down the drain. Like man, he wants to win so bad, and who can blame him? He is that good that he needs to win, and if he's not going to win here, he'll go do it somewhere else.
Amen.
There you go. All right, man. Y'all ready? Take these questions in these comments, man, from the Glow Yard, man. Listen, guys, if you have a question or a comment addressing us, guys, and Noah, go ahead and hit us with the WTM in front of your question or your comment, guys. And let's be respectful in the comment section too, guys. To your fellow Glow Yard members, man. We all here just talking Dallas Mavericks. We're gonna take the super chats first, as usual. So whenever a super chat comes in, we'll take those first, guys, and then we'll do the regular chats. So let's see. I got one coming in so far. It ain't quite this time. It's Joe.
Ooh.
Joe with the $4.99 dono. He's a Glow Yard member as well. He says y'all kind of dismissed me when I asked previously if we were going to be a 2-year process. He said also asked Noah to predict the Grizzlies' record this year.
The Grizzlies.
Oh, sorry, Grizzlies. Now you see how I did this time. I did Grizzlies for this one, and then Grizzlies on the other one. So yeah. Look, Joe. The thing is, but I didn't want to believe it's a 2-year process because we got like Noah said, we got Luka and Kyrie. Yeah, this got to be a right now process.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. Yeah, but if we start talking about having this many holes on a team, and we're looking at the fact that we might be going into the season with this roster, I mean, I'm hoping it's not a 2-year process, but it's what it's looking like. But what's y'all opinion?
I just think the 2-year process is too long. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like what Noah was saying earlier, where Kyrie can opt out and all. Like, we're in it right now, so it's like the Mavericks have to find a way to do everything at the same time. Like, I think we got to get to the second round this year. That's how I feel. To keep Luka and Kyrie happy, we got to get to the second round at least again this year to be like, okay, guys, we it was competitive or whatever like that. Again, we get one more guy. We got y'all one more time or whatever, but we can't go in the year like, fighting for the play-in or even losing in the play-in and stuff like that. That's 2 years back to back, and Luka Doncic is like, I don't want to say his prime, but he's known. His prime has been early. Yeah, you feel me? So it's like he's known, and we look at Luka, and he's in the spotlight based off his playoffs and all. So it looks like 2 failures in a row in the middle of that. So it's not a good look.
Only way, King, that you're gonna not guarantee it, but you kind of tilt it towards your favor. We got to get a top 4 seed.
Yeah. Got to get a top 4 seed. Bro, I think there's a chance. I think last year
maybe 5. You could probably pull it off with 5, but definitely top 4.
I think last year, I know we talked about we lost guys, but I really think Omax. I think a lot of guys that we lost, guys that we picked up, can become better than them very quickly, if that makes sense. So like we lost Dodo, but like we got a Grant Williams. Grant Williams really can be better than Dodo. I think we lost Reggie, but we still got Josh Green. Now, Josh Green, at some point, we've seen with his development, they give him time. I think Josh Green can be better than Reggie a lot. We got Omax on the bench, and we seen what he can do. We saying he can basically almost be a starter right now, so he's there. Like, I think there are guys. That's why I asked Noah about Jason Kidd and how much he believes in him, because it's in Jason Kidd. It's in his hands to have these guys play the right amount of minutes in the right situations and not like have guys sitting and saying, hey, you're not ready right now or whatever, because he has to win right now. Like, he has to show some type of development and growth in this team where Kyrie and Luka can believe that these guys are their guys and they're like close to getting to that piece. That's how I feel. Oh, and it's my turn. I'm sorry. I see Ray in there. He says, what's up, Glow Yard? What up, Ray?
What up, Ray? What up, man?
Appreciate you. We got Sporting Game. He says, what have you heard about PJ Washington from your source? Maybe Claxton, if he is an unrestricted free agent and Kai asked him to be in one team in Dallas. We could tell in Sporting Game that the Nets aren't getting rid of Claxton. But have you heard anything about PJ Washington, Noah?
No, I haven't heard anything. All I've heard, the latest thing, it was from Stein, like whatever that was, I think over a month ago, and it was just that the Mavs I don't think they've shown interest in him, but man, that could get us down a whole nother rabbit hole, because I think they should be showing interest in PJ Washington, man. Because just like we're all saying, like, the Mavericks need to be winning right now, and PJ Washington is a win now piece, man. And that, we could talk about that for forever, but I haven't heard anything about PJ necessarily coming to Dallas. Hopefully we hear something differently, because it doesn't look like Charlotte wants to extend him long term.
I was just about to say that. I saw a tweet today, as a matter of fact, before the show started. It's not looking good for him in Charlotte right now. Yeah. So I mean, that'd be nice to hop on that, that train to kind of get him. I think we'll feel a whole lot better. I think I would feel better with PJ Washington being the 4 and he slide Grant to the 3.
I don't know, bro. You already know how I feel about that, man. If you're gonna do that, might as well get ready to trade Josh Green then, because then you're taking away from him. It's a contract year for Josh.
No, not necessarily. I feel like he'll still be a focal point as far as an offense. He'll help with some of the offensive responsibilities off the bench, but you got to find a way, man, to kind of get some. You got to get somebody in here, man, to help with some length in here, man. And I feel if you get PJ Washington, I feel like with PJ Washington, I don't see him coming off the bench.
Nah,
no way.
Why not? But why not have PJ Washington starting Grant Williams off the bench?
I don't see Grant coming off the bench either. Not how much they paid him. You know what I mean? So,
hey man, well you gotta make decisions. It's a good decision to have if they get.
Yeah, what they say it's a good problem to have.
Yep, good problem to have. Johnny B says
Johnny. Hey, King, real quick.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Do you? No, you're good. I just wanted to ask you before we move on from PJ Washington. You don't think Grant can play the 3?
No,
he was saying
I do think he can play the 3. I just don't want to play around with. How last year Jason Kidd, when we got Holiday, basically gave up on Josh Green, and that was a downfall kind of him. He was having an awesome time before then. I don't want to. I feel like Josh Green can be awesome for the team. Like, I really like Josh Green. I'm a big Josh Green fan. So I don't want him to be put to the bench when this is his time to start, especially in his contract year after having Dodo and Reggie in front of him already, and those guys be gone. Those guys being gone now, I feel like now it's his time to start. He's paid his dues. Let him have his time and let him be able to start. But if you bring in PJ Washington and have him start beside Grant Williams, then you got to push Josh to the bench. And it's a Josh contract year as well. And we saw how, like I said, his confidence was shooken last year by being on the bench and having to do that stuff. So I just don't want to play with Josh Green. He's a young guy. I feel like goes off of confidence and that type of stuff. So I don't know. Based off of what I've seen, I wouldn't be mad at PJ starting beside Grant Williams. I think that'd be an awesome combination. But it's just like you make Josh Green kind of expendable.
The thing, like I think the difference between last year and what we're asking for this year from Josh Green is Josh Green was in the starting lineup. He was starting to build his confidence up, and then kids completely yanked it from him without kind of like letting him, like, kind of, it felt like he didn't communicate it with him. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to take you out and then we're going to put this guy in who we just signed off the streets. You know what I mean? So I think that had a lot to do with his confidence. I think if you kind of go in and you let him know, like, oh, this is how we're going to use you. This is what we want from you. I think it'll be a different situation compared to last year.
I feel you. I just feel like, I know we're going back.
I understand what you're saying though, because this is his contract year. You want to try to utilize as much as you can of him. And you want to try to, for him to get that contract or whatever. So I agree with you.
I feel like that stretch when Josh Green was starting was better than any stretch that Grant Williams has had in his career. And Grant Williams is a consistent, awesome guy. But I felt like Josh was showing he was like stardom. Like we were saying in that level where he was starting, he was running point guard against Utah and that type of stuff. Like he was looking like stardom at that point. with that being said, it's like the whole Jaden Hardy and the Tim Hardaway Jr. thing again with me. Like Tim may be a better player right now, but I don't want to stop the development of Jaden Hardy because Tim is better because I believe, and that potential word I hate, I think Jaden Hardy's potential is way higher than Tim Hardaway Jr.'s. Same thing with Josh Green on Grant Williams. That's my pick. But he said hearing Powell starting turns my stomach every time I hear it. Not just yours, Johnny B.
No comment.
Richard is a Glow Yard gang member. He says Dwight Cuban will never go away or Maxey. LOL. Yeah, he calls him Dwight Cuban. He thinks he's maybe his son. Chico, he says, why does Dallas love him so much? He doesn't produce, doesn't make sense. Then again, I'm new to the Mavs. That's a conversation for Real. Real, why do they love him so much?
Y'all can figure that out. Let me know. I've been on that train for as long as he's been on the team. I don't get it, but
it's the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I'm sorry.
I guess, man. I don't know.
He's not even a football player. Sporting Game says, what do you hear about Bol in the 36 pick? What makes Dallas? What made Dallas fail to trade for the 36? I thought they draft Moni Bates. Dallas throwing did 2 workouts for him, I guess. What does it mean? We had a.
I mean, it's a lot of times sporting games. A lot of times they try guys out and they just don't pick them up. That's any NBA team. It's normal.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead, Noah. My bad.
No, you're good. I was just saying, I don't know. I did hear those rumors about us trying to make that trade with Orlando to get another pick. I don't know exactly what the outlines of the trade for. Obviously, it was.
It was this year.
Yeah, bro.
We
were trying to make. There was some deal in place with Orlando that we were trying to get. It was on draft night, but it fell through.
Oh.
And I'm not. People were speculating that we wanted that we wanted Imani Bates, but I don't know exactly what the deal was. I'm reading it right now. Here's quote from Stein, or not quote, just the Mavericks made an offer on draft night and included Dallas receiving Bol and the 36th overall pick. This trade was centered around Dallas trading back into the draft, but adding a 7'2" center would be nice as well. The Magic denied Dallas's trade offer. I guess Magic denied our deal. I don't know exactly what the parameters were of the trade, but there were some rumblings that I guess we were trying to trade back into the draft. It was not centered around Bol though. We wanted to get back in the draft, so Bol was just kind of a throw-in. I think that we just wanted to get back into the draft.
I was about to say, then he ended up cutting Bol, so that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like, they ended up
cutting him.
What is this? We Certis? I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering that, but he says we sound like conspiracy theorists when it comes to Dwight Powell. We will see if D Live can win us games. If he doesn't, would you prefer him starting even if we don't make the playoffs? I mean, if we not making the playoffs and it don't look good, and I guess if that's what you're asking, he should start.
Yeah, I agree. I go with that.
There's no reason if we trash.
You think they should start? No,
I think no man frozen no days.
Oh,
no, I think
if we don't make the playoffs.
If he doesn't make the playoffs, then sure, why not? But he said if he doesn't, would we prefer him starting, even if we don't make the playoffs? So I think I'll say
he's saying.
Okay. What is he saying? Because I want us, regardless, Dallas needs to be in the playoffs. You have Luka and Kyrie on the same team.
You're not even trying to think about not making it.
I think what he's saying is, I think you're right, Noah. I think he is saying, would you prefer him to start? Meaning, if it took us out of the playoffs? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no way.
So if D Live, I don't want D Live to start. That's why I wanted DeAndre Ayton. Not saying I don't want him to start, but I don't. I would have rather had a true stopgap center or some center in front of us instead of having a situation where DP has to start.
Right. I just want a scenario where he don't start at all, man. I would like a scenario where he actually is Udonis Haslem. You just sit on the bench. That's what I want. But
Richard says, or do we move Hardy? If they keep Tim Hardaway Jr., do you think they ever think about that?
Man, I really hope not. Because I don't think you should. I don't think you should. Moving Tim should be that's what they should be going for because Hardy
Right.
cannot rot on the bench. He is too good to be
Yep.
sitting on the bench. He's too good to
Yep.
be sitting on the bench. So I think I'd much rather move Tim, but I don't think moving Hardy is out of the picture for them because I'm sure when they're sitting down, they're talking about the same thing. Like they need they need some defenders, some versatile defenders. But I will say, after we move JaVale, we have 2 open roster spots, and hopefully they can bring in maybe a guard defender like a Diallo, and then maybe like a Derrick Jones Jr. or something like that, just to give us some defense. But man, I don't think moving Hardy. I think that should be pretty far down the totem pole. I don't think it's a good move at all.
I agree. Because we kind of said that you got to move Tim to for him to get his shine a little bit. But
Sporting Game says, what happened on the market on PJ Washington? What have you heard about him? What is Hornets asking for PJ Washington? I think you kind of answered that earlier.
Yeah, we answered that earlier. Yeah, from what I just heard today, it ain't looking good between him and the Hornets right now. So I'm surprised teams ain't jumped on that opportunity. I think he's asking for like 18 or 19 a year or something like that. So
Yep.
I think that's what's the issue is holding him up right now. And I think everybody else's cap is kind of dried up. So yeah.
Richard says, if it's going to be a 2 or God forbid a 3-year build, shouldn't we just let our rookies play now?
Now, when you say play, Richard, you talking about like let them play significant minutes, or you talking about let them start? I mean, yeah, they can play. We can let them play. Give them like 15, 18 minutes or whatever. That's letting them play. But if you talking about like starting, then I'm not sure about that. Like we eventually want to see Lobby start, but like right out the gate, I don't see it.
I mean, I want to see the preseason.
That's what we've been kind of banking a lot of this on, man. Let's just see what it look like in the preseason, man. We still don't even know what the starting lineup going to be.
Bro, Lively might be able to start if he can show up in the preseason. He might be able to start. Johnny B. It won't be much, right? If you get a bunch of minutes and puts up points and rebounds real quick and blocks in a minute or whatever like that, like I don't see why he couldn't. But Johnny B also says it seems like Exum may have a bigger role next year than we think. That's what I'm trying to say. As long as if we don't pick up another guard to defend or a wing or something like that, he probably is.
I thought you were gonna play the Frank Ntilikina role, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
But when we had Frank Ntilikina, we still had Reggie Bullock.
Good point.
We don't have Reggie. K-Dub says Kankar tore his ACL in the knee, so Slovenia are in big trouble. They also lost their captain at the 4, who was his backup. So Slovenia power forward 4 position is effed.
Jesus Christ, man.
Amount, Glow Yard gang member. Also, Amount, I saw your post last show and all. We appreciate you being back, man. Sorry about the hard times. But he says, Aiden, why anything else? Mavs would be top 3 money leaders, instant contending favorites. I don't know why.
Oh, we've been saying that. That'd be nice if we had Aiden, man.
If the trade was just Tim Hardaway Jr. and Rashawn Holmes, I will never understand that one, Nico. I will never understand that one if that was it. Johnny B said we need Doe back. He would be perfect with the team.
You got Doe. What you talking about, man? We got Omax.
We need guard defenders, man. Like I love Doe, but I don't want him to be the guy that's just defending Steph Curry all day. That'll wear him out.
Maybe like a Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
I mean that rumor was out there.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to give it what they were asking for. Like what was it?
Multiple firsts.
Yeah, we saw one where it was like a first and I think you had said it. No, it was like a first and 2 seconds or something. And
so that wasn't necessarily rumor. That was more just me like every once in a while, like I'll throw together like a mock trade type thing, and that's what I think. Just because in order to get Dorian and Royce O'Neal, because that was the trade, I think you would have taken at least 1 first and maybe 2 seconds. But Royce is on an expiring, so who knows? But in order to get Dorian back, we'd have to wait until the trade deadline. And I don't think, just like you said, we need guard defenders. We don't need another wing defender as badly.
If the Nets were some way were to cut Dodo, then I think the Mavericks would go get him.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. They would run at him, I think, if that was to happen. Richard says, If Exum found a shot, any shot, he would be a starter, and his defense is great. Let's hope he found a shot. He wouldn't be a starter because he can't start.
That's what we hoping. I don't know about the starter part, but that's what we hoping, Richard. That's what we banking everything on, that he finds a shot, a consistent shot.
Let's hope he's better than
offense end.
Let's hope he's better than Frank.
That's there you go.
He can be better for Frank than Frank.
That's what we were hoping Frank was going to be.
Yeah. Richard also says it's not like anyone is dying, but how long does he have to figure out the lineup? That's a good question for you, Noah. How long do you think Jason Kidd should go without having a set lineup this year?
Whoa.
I think they should know. I mean, you should have your lineup pretty quick, pretty quickly into the start of the season. I was gonna say maybe December. I mean, you can't know your line because stuff fluctuates all the time. Like, you're gonna have guys go through slumps and whatnot, but Kidd needs to have his rotation down quickly because every game matters in the Western Conference, and we can't, whatever. When we were fourth or fifth when we traded for Kyrie, fell all the way down to 11th. Man, things can change quickly in the West. They need to know. They need to know pretty quick what's going to be going down.
I agree. Sporting Game says, what do you think when the Mavs reject Laurie trade for Maxey in the first round pick? If we can turn back time, will you make the deal? I would.
Yeah.
I don't even think we needed a first round pick when it all said and done. I think Maxey's value was higher than Laurie's
at that point.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's very tough. What up, Nancy? She said, hey, fellas. At the end of the game, Kyrie was your best defender. He is a better defender than he gets credit for. He just might not do it the whole game. I think they should just let the rookies play. They both have the mindset of defense. They know what their role is and why they were brought in here, and they are proud of it. Also, to have a player in Derek that talks like that. I think they definitely should get time, Nancy.
I agree with her, too. I think Kyrie is a better defender than people give him credit.
Yeah, he's underrated. He's just undersized.
Undersized. There you go. Same thing we say with Jalen Brunson. Yeah.
You give it your all. When he gives it his all, he can go out there. He strips guys all the time and all. But he's just undersized. Richard says, Noah, does Dwight Cuban have pictures? He said, does he have pictures of Mark Cuban somewhere to get some stuff? You don't have to answer that, Noah. Johnny B says that Western Conference final run was great, but missing the play-in should nullify that, especially with 2 top 10 guards. Fire him. I mean, he only had him for 12 games, though, Johnny B. Together.
That's why I said, hey, they got a full training camp. Luka come back in shape. It's going to be up to Jason Kidd, man, how you utilize them together on the court. That's what's going to determine how far we get this year.
Keith, do I pronounce that Ramon or Ramoan? But what up? Mavs made conference finals with Luka and good defense. We need to get back to that. Forget a stopgap center trade for a good 3-4 wing and back to Luka and company balling NBA champs. I feel you, Keith.
Not mad at that, man. Not mad at that.
Nope.
They definitely need a 3-4 wing, more of a 3, but yeah.
Told you, we didn't get Ayton, and I didn't care about anybody else. Like I think they messed up by signing Dwight Powell. Not to bash on him over and over again, but that hurt. It hurt just the roster spot. Like, now we're talking about possibly having 4 centers at some point if we do something, because we already have centers that people don't want. So we already took on. How do you take on a Rashawn Holmes extra contract, which is supposed to be extra, that you don't even really want, to still have a guy on your team that you don't even supposedly really want, but I guess you really want him? Sporting Game says, what do you think?
Hey, I was gonna say too, if we had got Matisse Thybulle, do y'all think we would have been in a better situation with Matisse Thybulle?
Now?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Matisse Thybulle on the team right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
But I still wouldn't know what happened with the centers though, bro.
Okay.
You feel me? Like
so y'all more concerned with the center role or the wing role?
I'm more concerned about the wing role for defense. It's like a trick question for me. I'm concerned about the center because I'm concerned Jason Kidd gonna do the wrong thing with the center position. Okay. I'm concerned about the wing position because I'm concerned about the center position. You feel me? Like, I wouldn't care as much. I feel like the wing, like we always talk about, a center helps the rest of the team defensively. Like, it makes you where you can do extra things. You play a little closer. You got time because you got somebody in the backhand. If we can't trust the center to do that, then now we have to play a defense like we did 2 years ago. We have the whole floor running for each other and all. So
That's a good point.
That's how I feel. Sporting Game said, "What do you think Jared Dudley got a bigger role, or what do you think of Jared Dudley getting a bigger role? I guess what makes Dallas hard to get Doc Rivers or Mike, former Bucks head coach, become assistant coach he had spotted in Dallas before? I don't know why.
I'm good on Doc Rivers.
I think he
Doc
says
Rivers got
assistant coach though.
Doc Rivers got another gig going.
Yeah, he done took somebody's job that quick. Shout out to Doc, man. Doc, stay with the job, my man. Doc.
But no, Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah,
I mean,
you took him as assistant.
Yeah, I'm not bad at that.
Yeah, I took him as assistant too.
Man, side note, Jared Dudley could be a head coach in the NBA.
He will be.
If you listen, man, yeah, it's crazy because like I had never interacted with him before, but at summer league practice, maybe a month or two ago, yeah, man, just sitting there and talking to him, and I was like, hey, man, like, could you describe Derek Lively and Omac's game to a Mavs fan who's never watched? And man, he just goes on for 2 minutes and he's breaking down everything, and I'm like, and he's just totally different vibe from Jason Kidd. Totally different vibe. It's crazy. Jared Dudley could be a head coach in the NBA, man. He's a really good coach. He's a really good coach, and I hope he gets a bigger role.
Yeah, I can see him being a head coach
in the league. Nancy says, I think the two rookies would benefit the most from playing with Luka and Kyrie. Luka and Kyrie are super motivated. Neither guy was happy about tanking last year. No superstar would be. I agree. I think they will look awesome with Luka and Kyrie, both of them. Keith also says, and don't trade Green. He would start now. If anything, trade Hardy. He won't start for at least 3 more years. So I think Richard also says that, Noah, I'll pass that to you. He says that Jaden Hardys are easier to find in the league as far as an undersized guard that just scores off the bench. So if you're going to go to Tim Hardaway route, meaning none of us want Tim Hardaway to be over Jaden Hardy. But if the team has to go that route and then send Jaden Hardy down, while his value is at his highest, like without constantly sending him down and seeing what's going to happen, why not then just use him as a trade piece then to try to get something else? That's how we're saying. Not as far, we don't want to get rid of Jaden Hardy, but if the Mavericks going to make that foolish move, then you can't just sit there with Jaden Hardy. That's a foolish move, we feel like.
Are you saying the foolish move of keeping Tim and having Hardy sit on the bench?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That's
having sent him down to the G League and all that stuff.
So if they do that, then shouldn't you just think about trading Hardy then while his value is up? And a lot of folks were interested in him in this past offseason, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's a hard question. That's a good question. Yeah, I'm just so against moving Hardy, man, because we're the ones who
we don't want to move him.
Yeah, we don't want to, but I agree. They got to find a way to move Tim, man, because we extended Tim. And now we don't want him. They got to find a way to move Tim because Jaden Hardy has been nothing but good for this team. I mean, man, let me ask y'all this though.
Mm-hmm.
If Jaden Hardy could improve defensively, could we eventually maybe say Jaden Hardy takes another jump and he's a huge part of the rotation? Next season, he averages 12 a game, 13 a game. Could we see eventually a starting lineup of Kyrie, Hardy, and Luka, or is that just too bad defensively that we couldn't make up for it with Grant and Lively down low?
Yeah, probably too bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So I think further in the line for the Jaden Hardy, my future is when Kyrie is no longer here. So I think of Luka, Jaden Hardy at that point, Josh Green, Omax, and Derek Lively. That's the 5 homegrown guys right there. If that could be the future team, that adds up with the timeline of Luka still being great and being young as well at the same time with these guys being able to meet him. I think that should be the ultimate team the Mavericks look towards having as their starting lineup. But right now, while Kyrie is there, I think Jaden's role is to be the perfect copy of Kyrie that he can be at this point, learn the most he can from Kyrie so that when Kyrie eventually does go through that, valley or whatever, that he can become our starting guard.
Yeah, real quick before we move on, could I ask y'all how good do y'all think Josh Green is?
I think he
how
could
good he is or could be.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Both.
I've always said Josh Green could be Iguodala.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Iguodala wasn't like I'm gonna go ahead and just get straight buckets, or I'm just gonna go ahead and just play straight defense. Iguodala did everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very good, right? That's what I think Josh Green could be. Like Keen said earlier, we saw that stretch of like, was it like 5 games or whatever when he was giving you like 15 and like 8 and 5 or whatever, right? So like you see like you see the potential of him being like that Iguodala type player, and that's what I think he can be. I think that's his ceiling is like an Iguodala.
Got you.
And Iguodala was a All-Star, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he?
Yes.
I think one-time All-Star, right?
One-time All-Star, yeah. So I mean, that's
Philadelphia. He was
I
an
think
All-Star.
when he was on the
with Philly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
he was the new. Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like he's that type of guy, fringe All-Star guy. I feel like that's his. But I feel like he's a guy. Like I said, he's a glue guy. He's a utility guy.
He could be a high-end glue guy.
Yeah, he's a scout knife, a Boy Scout knife. He's everything. He's the guy the Draymond Green. Where say if Andre Iguodala would have been younger playing on that Warriors team, he'd have been an All-Star more times. He'd have been Draymond Green. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you put Josh Green on the team that's good, like if we become a dynasty type squad, I would love for that to happen. But that type of squad where we're winning 60 games all the time and all, Josh Green, if he's in the starting lineup, I feel like he can be an All-Star in that type of team. Sporting Game says, what do you think about the last two-way contract spot? Dexter Daniels looks promising. He is a wing defender. He is from Texas Tech. Also, we got to see him fight for a roster spot.
That's the guy we just signed, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good as far as highlights.
Yeah, but say from the highlights, he looked good. So.
Yeah. How old is he? How many years did he play at A&M? Do we know? Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, but say look that up and let us know, because if he's falling down to a two-way spot, and with some of that athleticism I've seen, he might have been in college 4 years.
Yeah, he's 24 years old, y'all.
Yeah. So he might be. He had 5 years.
He played 5 years. 5 years.
5 years. Yep. He played 5 years in college.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus, that explains it,
bro. But you know what? He's gonna be a guy that can come in here and play good, play well with Luka and all. He's a guy that's already
right
ready.
now.
Yeah, he's a guy that's ready right now that can probably play minutes and do a bunch of things for us. His ceiling, he's probably not gonna have much higher ceiling than what he is right now that you're saying. But from what I saw, if he could do that in the league, that'd be awesome. I'd love it.
Yeah.
You said Master Kleber?
Yeah, even more athletic.
Yeah,
I guess early.
Master came in at 25, already put into the rotation and stuff. So yeah.
Johnny B says this center platoon is a disaster waiting to happen. I can't understand why everybody knows Dwight is not a starting center, yet we make excuses for him to start. Lively is better than him now. He set screens, man, and builds houses. So we got to give him credit for that. Sporting Game says, what do you see about Mike Miles Jr., Jelly Walker, and AJ Lawson? Are they going to have the opportunity to play in the NBA game time? No.
Out of all three of them, one person who probably has the closest chance is AJ Lawson, because he's been with this team for about 3 years now, or 2 years.
Yeah, he's bounced around a little, but we've brought him back multiple times. So
yeah, so it may be AJ Lawson, but the other guys I don't really see it, because we're deep at guard, so it's not like we need those guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So and AJ can play the 3. So
he should play AJ Lawson with Josh Green and Jaden Hardy.
Yeah,
I think he'd excel with those guys, like running with those guys. I think it'd be awesome. But
I like AJ Lawson.
Yeah, Jason Kidd, man.
Mike Miles is tough too. Mike Miles is tough.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I like Mike Miles.
B Black, what up, man?
B Black says, do you guys think Lively will get a lot of playing time? Because I think he should already start over Powell. I'm done with JP.
Well, we know the theme of the show today. I mean, it's a lot as far as a lot of playing time. Look, you know what? I'm gonna say this, y'all. We gotta wait till preseason. We're doing a lot of guessing right now. We just gotta, because we don't, like I said, we don't know the solidified starting lineup. We're still questioning who's gonna be the guy who's gonna be guarding the 1s and the 2s. Because we know it's not gonna really be Kyrie and Luka like that. You know, maybe Kyrie can guard some 2s or whatever, but you know, we got to kind of let's see how this plays out during preseason. So we'll have to see. Maybe the first 2 games, then we'll kind of give you an idea of what we think. But we're hoping that Lively can, but we don't want to put a lot of pressure on them, though. So
basically, after the 3rd preseason game, bro, we should be able to look at it and be like, okay, because they play the most in the 3rd, right? We should be able to look at it and say, I know by now I think it's the
Yeah,
third one, right?
they go up in I know they go down in
Well,
NFL, but they go up in the NBA.
last year they did, didn't they? Last year they had 5 or something. I think it was, or 2 years ago, where they had the Mavericks had a bunch
Because
of
they
them.
got 2 in Dubai this year.
I don't know. See, I don't know.
So I think we do got 5 this year then.
So they might play hard in the 4th one then. This
So
time.
yeah, I think the minutes do go up
Yeah, usually go up and then
in
they start
preseason.
the last game.
Because I know NFL it goes down. NBA I think it goes up.
Well, NFL usually third game, I thought too, where everybody plays basically the whole game and then nobody plays the 4th game basically.
I thought okay, maybe you're right. I thought it would go down in I thought it was down in down in NFL, up in the NBA. I can't remember which one it was. But you might be right.
Johnny B says Holmes is better than Dwight now. Maxey is better. It's crazy how he's the worst player on the team, yet everybody thinks he's starting. Doesn't seem like a serious team to me.
They're basing that off of who the coach is, Johnny. It's not that they think he's starting. They just we're only going it based off of Jason Kidd, his track record. So
Frank is a Glow Yard Gang member. He says, with the motivated Kyrie, do you think it's possible both Luka and Kyrie can average 30-plus points this year? Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be nice. I don't know. Like, no, what do you think their average going to be scoring wise?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I think Luka could average. I think, man, I will say I think Kyrie. We're gonna see Kyrie be really good, but I'll say they'll combine. I think their ceiling is 60. I think their ceiling is 60 combined. That's actually I'll say 62 combined because who knows, we could see something crazy. But I'll say, man, I could see Kyrie averaging a solid 27, 20. I could see like 28, maybe 29 for Kyrie could go crazy. Like Kyrie, just watching him up close and like interacting with him, like, man, he is one of the most. He has become underrated, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because like he has become underrated. Like I'll say though, I don't see them both averaging 30 plus. I could see it maybe happening, but I'll predict and say no.
I'm gonna say 30 for Luka, and I'm gonna say 26 or maybe 7 for Kyrie.
Okay.
They may get to 60 because I think Luka's going to get over 30 this year again.
Yeah.
But I think
so if he get like 33 and Kyrie get like 27.
Yeah, but I don't think Kyrie's going to score 27 this year. For some reason, I think Kyrie's going to be a 25-point a game, just dumb efficient guy. Like, I mean, like just stupid efficiency, like close to like a 50, 57 or something, 55, 40 something, like over 40. And like,
so you think he can get the 50, 40, 90?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about the free throws. If he can stay at 90 for us the whole year, but other than that, I think he's going to be over 40, over 50 on both of them. I think Kyrie's going to be dumb.
He was close this past season. What was he like? Yep. What was like a 0.3 off or something like that?
On everything, I think it was. I think he had it on.
No, it was just one. It was on threes.
He was off on threes. Did he do it on a percentage? I thought he was off a little bit on field goals, like 49 something as well.
Wait, no. I take that back. No, it was one of. When I saw a number, it was only one of them he was off of.
So it was 40. It was a field goal. I think it was 49 on the field goal or something.
No,
I'm looking at it right now. Y'all are right. Yeah, 49.4% field goal.
That's what it was. Yeah,
it was the field goal percentage where he just missed it by.
Because I thought he had 50, and he was like, "Nah, he was off on one of them." I was like, "Dang."
Oh, he was off on threes too.
That's what I thought.
Was he on threes?
It's just free throws.
Yeah. So for the total of last year, like combining Brooklyn and Dallas, it was 49.4% from the field, 37.9% from three, and then free throw.
No, for us, I think just for Mavericks, he might have shot 40.
Okay.
Mavericks 39.2.
See,
Damn,
that's what the one where you saw was just under it. The Kyrie he's a beast, man. Like, and I think he's done 50, 40, 90 before. It's not like he hasn't done it before, right? Kyrie's done 50, 40, 90, I thought.
Let's see. Actually, okay.
No, I think this might have been his most efficient year.
Oh, he has.
Brooklyn, yeah, he has.
Oh, he has. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he can get it.
I told you he's underrated. Kyrie's amazing. Kyrie's gonna have the most dumb efficient year ever this year, I think.
Oh, and he motivated too. So
and he motivated. Yep, I think Kyrie is, and he understands. The question was always, is Kyrie really understands this is Luka's team? He does, and I think with that being said, Kyrie's gonna be the best version of himself as that number 2 guy that he could have been with like LeBron and all. I think that's what Kyrie wants to do right now, like finish out his career to show the guys that he can do this. Like, stop playing with me. So that's my idea with Kyrie. Richard also says, I'm hoping we start the season and at the trade deadline when other teams unload. to get below the cap, we can get our final pieces. Hopefully, Richard, we can do something. I don't know. I want to see the team, though. We might be underrating the team. I hope we underrating the team. How about that? Nancy says, Noah, do you think some teams are still waiting to see what happens with the Damian Lillard and James Harden situation before they make moves? Do you think there will be some gems out there around them? I guess included like a 3-team trade or whatever.
Yeah, I think both of those. It was Damian and Harden. That was.
And Harden, yes.
I think both of them, if they happen, will more than likely be 3-team trades. Because with the Portland trade, they don't want to take on Hero, so someone's going to have to take on Hero. And in the Lillard trade, I just think when you're moving that many pieces around, it's so much easier to get a third team involved because it can help out. So I could see both of them being 3-team trades. So to answer your question, I think there are some teams waiting around to kind of see what happens there. I think the Mavericks are kind of waiting around it because they want to be the third. It seems like they want to be the third team in an Atlanta trade. So,
do you think they are going to get traded before the season?
Man, that's tough. That's really tough. I don't know why. I could see both of them kind of lingering around until the season. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Dame is going to get – I don't know why. I feel like Dame is going to get moved before we see Harden. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. But I think there's a chance that at least one of them is on their current team when the season rolls around.
Does Embiid stay?
Yeah.
You think Embiid doesn't ask for anything even after this year? You think it's close to it if James Harden bounces?
It might depend on what they get back.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say.
I guess it depends on what they get. How much they gonna get back for James Harden?
Yeah, good point. Ain't James Harden 46?
I don't know. I feel like at this point, isn't the process kind of broken?
Oh, with the trade request and all that?
Yeah.
Man,
so
I was just talking about it.
Do you go to do you ask to be traded as well now? Like, he's probably the best value you can get now if you're a 76er. You feel me? Before his value is gone, that's probably what you want to do if you get rid of
him or Maxey, but they don't want to get rid of Maxey. They want to keep him.
You might as well keep Maxey for the future, but Embiid right now is the guy you go get your picks for, that you go get your process back again for. You feel me?
Retool, yeah.
Do it again. So we'll see. It's gonna be wild if James Harden gets traded. Berg says, is it crazy for me to think Josh could average 15 points a game if he started the whole season? If he shoots 10 to 12 times a game, I feel that's easy, especially if Tim gets traded. No, I think Josh should be a fifth. I think he get the ball.
I can see that.
But we got to see a confident Josh. We have to see a confident Josh.
I've always been saying that's what I've been saying too. No, got to be confident, man.
Yeah, man. Like I think JGE is great. I really want him to be great for this team. But I think some fans, when it comes to trade talks and whatnot about Josh Green, I think he can be great. I really do. I don't necessarily want Dallas to move him, but I feel like just on Twitter and stuff, some Mavs fans are really starting to overrate Josh Green. Like, it's not saying they'd include him in certain deals. I'm like, man, like if there's a move that includes Josh Green that puts this team over the hump, that moves us into being like a top 3 team in the West where you land a star like Ayton or someone like that, I mean, why not? But I think to answer that question, I think he could average 15 a game. But Mavs fans have to remember, like, yes, there's that Josh Green stretch that we saw where he was averaging 20 plus. He had that 27-point game. I think him and Hardy both had like 27. I think it was against the Jazz or something. Like, we've seen some great games from Josh Green, but also we've seen the Josh Green that's afraid to shoot a corner 3 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So what Josh Green we get is going to be a big question. I really hope he improves, but I think we got to pump the brakes a little on Josh Green. But I hope he has a great looks like he's having a great offseason. I hope that we get a great Josh Green. But
you'll see in FIBA. You'll see in FIBA.
Yeah, we will. We'll see very soon. Very soon.
I know it's like nearing your time now, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But last thing on Josh Green real quick, bro. Can I say to that comment? Usually most fans are either one or the other, Noah. It seems like you're either team Hardy or your team Green. So it's like you have a bunch of Twitter fans saying, well, you can trade Hardy, and a bunch of fans saying you can trade Green, and then ones that are going extreme on both sides of them. Me personally, I love Jaden Hardy, but I'm kind of on that train of he can be the one because, like you say, you can find that, I feel like, easier than an Iguodala. I feel like Josh Green is already probably the third best passer on the team if you include Kyrie now. Like before, it was probably the second best passer behind Luka Doncic. We're asking him now to do the dodo in them type role for us now. He's a break runner as far as the guy that goes and finishes at the rim and all for us, that cuts and all. Like just all the things that he can do. It's no knock to Jaden. I think Jaden's going to be awesome at what he's asked to do. But I feel like you get more in the package with Josh Green, and that's why I'm so high on keeping him and not wanting to trade him away. But I also respect the hell out of Jaden Hardy, and I understand what he does, and I think he's going to be great at what he does as well. So I don't want to get rid of either one of them.
Yeah. If they were both free agents right now and they're both on expirings, like say Jaden Hardy has a few years under his belt, just like Josh Green, I think I'm extending Josh Green before I extend Hardy. So I'm agreeing with you there.
And what you want to do, Ro? You want me to try to run through them or what? How many? It's a lot left. Okay. Sporting Game says, what do you think Dallas tried to offer Dillon Brooks? Do you think if Dallas ended up getting Brooks and free agent, they won't make Grant Williams trade, or they wouldn't make the Grant Williams trade, or they still prioritize signing trade Grant Williams?
I don't think they would have tried. I don't think they would have got Grant Williams. I think they were trying to offer the mid-level for Dillon Brooks, but he ended up getting 20 from Houston.
I heard it's almost 30 with the incentives and all that.
Yeah, his contract's nuts.
Wow.
Only Houston's gonna give him that. So
Amount says Seawood can't seem to convince anyone he exists, and it's still pretty good. Man, there's a few teams I've been here that's interested in Seawood. On the low, like Detroit, I heard was interested in him.
Listen, I think he's gonna sign with somebody. Man.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think they're just his value is at an all-time low because of last year with the Mavericks and what they did, and now it's just teams want to try to give up nothing for him. Like
it's kind of like the PJ Washington situation right now.
Yeah.
Like he wants a certain amount, and teams aren't going to be able to give it to him. So he has time. He'll sign with somebody. He's just not going to what he wants.
He's going to sign another preview deal.
Yeah,
I know that sucks. Go ahead, Noah.
Oh no, my bad. I was just saying this offseason is crazy. Like I can't remember the last offseason. Who knows? But look, Diallo's a free agent. C. Wood, Kelly Oubre, Derek Jones. Like there are so many good free agents that are probably going to get stuck with. I mean,
nothing.
$5 million annually or less. Kelly Oubre just averaged 20 a game. A really bad team, but it's crazy that a lot of these guys are just sitting there. Like Christian Wood, like, yes, there's all the things that he's never been on a winning team. And there's so much to the Christian Wood situation. And I think a lot of it we're never going to learn. Like, man, there have even been rumors that I've heard that we didn't even want him in the first place. Like when we traded for him on draft night, we tried to move him again. Like, that whole
first the guy to try to move again, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get it.
K-Dub says Slovenia got a lot of guards, so Luka might have to play more before. Probably. Sporting Game says if Golden State, just jump in if you want to. If Golden State asks him for Wood, Maxey, and Green for Looney in 2024 first, what you going to do? Accept it? Nah.
No.
I'm not for Looney.
No, I'm giving the first for Looney.
Sporting Game also says what makes Dallas fail for trading for Jared Allen. I heard Cavs tried to make Mobley start center.
Oh, I don't know. That was a rumor, so I don't know. I didn't hear Mark Stein kind of confirm that trade or anything, so
yeah,
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. B Black says we are one big man away from the chip. Might be, man. We'll see.
They kind of big man too. Like if it's like Aiden, I really feel it.
Yeah, I do too. I thought Aiden would have made us a favorite. We'd have been up there competing with Denver. Div says, great show, guys, but it's hard to wake up this early. We apologize, Div. Sometimes
it's early. We feel.
Joel says, Joel, I'm sorry, says, Josh Green is the guard defender. I think we are good long as they keep Powell at the end of the bench. I don't think that's going to happen, though. That's the issue. Chico
is the issue.
Chico says, thank you. People always dismissing Kyrie for his defense more than just passing lanes. He's sneaky. He's sneaking backside on drop downs to bigs and everything. Yes, Chico. Yes.
I think me and King was saying that last year.
Yep. Nancy says, hope Jason Kidd doesn't do what he did last year with the lineups. They need to be able to build chemistry together, and players should be able to make some mistakes without worrying about losing their spot, unless you're Tim Hardaway Jr. Berg says, if we got Ayton, would you guys mind if Lively got a few DNPs if that meant he would be behind Holmes? Not saying he wouldn't play at all, but he would be playing around 10 to 12 minutes for the season. No, if we got Ayton, I don't want Holmes. Bergs. I want Lively. I want Lively to do. I think Lively to develop. We drafted him for a reason. Like so,
you draft him as a lottery pick.
Yeah,
I know people think lottery. They think top 10. No, lottery is top 14. If you're a lottery pick, man, they got some plans for you.
Lively should be better than Holmes in the future.
Yeah, and Ayton would be playing 30 plus a night.
Yep.
So why not just have D Live as the number 2 center, even though it would somehow end up being DP? Like, man, it's so skewed. It's so skewed, and it's really hard because like they have Rashawn, they have Dwight, but like Derek Lively needs to develop. It's so hard. It's a balance beam, and I think that all 3 of those centers, I think any 3 of them could start on opening night. So I think training camp and preseason it's going to be a battle, but I think it'll be Powell. Sadly.
Sporting Game says what makes Dallas? Why did they not trade for Zubac? Are the Clippers waiting to make a move to trade for James Harden? Maybe Dallas becomes the 3rd team for getting Zubac and Morris brothers. What we going to give? The same thing. And that whole three-way trade, we just going to join the trade to get Zubac.
Tim Hardaway and McGee.
Yep.
I'll take Zubac and Morris.
What's it? Joe says, please thank our guests for not, peeing on our leg and saying it's raining about DP on his site. Some of us have access to Synergy and can see how horrid DP is compared to other NBA centers. Hey, appreciate you, Noah. That's appreciation to you. Johnny B says, Concord Torres to ACL in the FIBA prelims. Do you think Luka should sit, considering he hurt his knee yesterday? I mean, I try to stay away from that because, we're going to get I don't know. I hope he doesn't get injured. I'll just say that. Johnny B. Marby says, I think Nico is smart, not settling for just any center. I think they can get someone near all-star level by mid-season. We'll see. Maybe Lively at that level by mid-season. That's a lot of. We'll see.
Might not even need that center.
Yeah. Sport Game says if the Kings looking so high on Hardy and said they offered Davion Mitchell and Malik Monk for Hardy, THJ in a second, would you?
Nah.
That one was like, oh man, we're getting better on the defensive side though, Ralph. Hold on. I don't know, man. Div says if we are serious this year, first 20 game center rotation should be Rashawn Holmes starter, Lively second center, and Powell takes on McGee role. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Chico says if he starts off the games hot involved, then after trade, he can average up to 28, 29. Second half, mostly fourth is when he turns into Uncle Drew. Yeah.
One of the best fourth quarter players I've ever seen in person.
He's
me too. No, I watched him live in person. I was like, Jesus, man.
I still haven't seen Kyrie, so I look forward to seeing him. Hopefully this year.
And in person is different, man. It's like Jesus.
It was everything in the fourth quarter. It was just like wow.
Bro, me and Reggie was sitting there with our jaws dropped, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, man. What is this?
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially that one. It was when we were fighting for the playoffs. I think was it the Kings. I think we ended up beating the Kings in a crazy fourth quarter thriller.
To tank.
Yeah.
Right after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Kyrie was just insane. Man, he's crazy to watch. Just the difficulty of shots he hits is nuts.
And Chico just says he's a bit more involved, not hot involved. We got you, Chico. Dave says if Mavs, Luka and Kyrie averaging 60 for the season, it could be trouble. It means those two have the ball out just to escape wins like that. I don't think so. No, it's a different NBA, Div. Like you saw JB and Jason Tatum last year. You feel me? Like it can happen. They scored like 120 easily. So 60 points is only half of the score.
They had the defense on top of that.
Yeah, I was about to say that
That's
too.
What you gotta have.
That's what we're hoping we have this year. We have the defense on top of them scoring their 60 points.
Because Luke and Kyrie still gonna score a bunch of points with this team. Like they're going to still be involved in making all of the buckets mostly. So setting guys up. Sporting Game says, have you heard about Miles Turner trade to Dallas? Will Pacers try to listen to Cuba and offer? That's for I guess. Have you heard anything about Miles Turner?
No, I haven't heard anything about Miles Turner to Dallas. No rumors or anything like that. I mean, Mavs fans, Mavs Twitter's always raving about getting Miles Turner here because he went to high school in Dallas and he'd be a great fit. Like Miles Turner, just
here every summer.
Yeah, he was just here for that basketball.
He got a house here, I think, too.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Big Jace, Glow Yard gang member said there's a rule affecting Harden. a player in the last year of a contract can not hold out because if he does, the original team retains the rights and can block any signing. A couple more. Div says Green is smarter at b-ball IQ than Hardy, but Hardy has no fear. Hey, that's an awesome way to put it, Div. That's an awesome way to put it,
bro. If Green had Hardy's
bro,
confidence,
bro, we wouldn't even be talking about Omax.
Probably wouldn't even drafted Omax.
Yep, Omax.
So man, but yeah. Go ahead.
Johnny B said I still try to sign a trade with THJ for PJ Washington, and that's
I would. That'd be nice.
I would too.
Yeah,
I would too.
PJ would be so good because, like, if you think about it, the contract that we extended Tim on, that's probably a similar contract that we pay PJ, and like, PJ's obviously the better player than Tim right now. Like, man, if we could get, would y'all give up the 2027 first and THJ for PJ Washington on a 4-year signing trade?
Ooh, I gotta sleep on that one. Like Ralph said, no, I don't want to give it the last. I don't want to.
I'm really trying my best. No, can I give you 2 seconds?
I'll throw the 2 seconds in there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Charlotte would do that. I'm wondering if there's another team out there that would throw them a first. But who knows, dude? Like the Thunder. What if the Thunder, like a team like the Thunder, even though they have tons of wings, I mean, they could throw them. Man, totally off topic, but Thunder could be nice next year.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
I thought we ain't gonna lie to y'all. I thought we was getting Lou Dort in that Thunder trade. That would have been, man. Listen, if we got Lou Dort,
game over.
That would have answered all our questions.
But last one, bro. If Dallas signed Draymond, is it over for the NBA? Nah, because we don't got the space for him and all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't got the space for him. Plus, he just signed with the Golden State. So,
but let Grant rap about himself. I mean, I'm sorry, I said Grant Noah rap about himself.
Oh yeah, no. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, man. How did you get on with the Smoking Cuban and all that good stuff?
All right, cool. So I just graduated from Oklahoma State. I went to college there. I started working for the Smoking Cuban back in February, and I started as a contributing writer, whatnot, just writing a few times a week. And then our site expert or whatever, like pretty much the EIC editor in chief, he got bumped up to being full time, so he's a full time NBA writer. And then they promoted me to the site expert, me and this guy named Jack. So we both operate the site, man, and it's really fun. My favorite. I just love interacting with fans and putting out content, whatnot, getting to interact, just being close with the team, and hopefully one day having an end on some of the stuff that's going down because, man, I just love Mavs basketball and promoting it and interacting with fans on Twitter and whatnot because it's super fun and it's a fun team to follow because, I mean, when you go from a fan to like covering the team, man, like it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Let everybody know too, man, where to find you at. I got the stuff in the description box, but go ahead and let them know.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter at NoahWeber00. It's that tag that's listed for my name on the live stream. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's NOAHWEBER. You got to remember 1B because a lot of people have 2 B's in Weber, but mine's 1 and then 00. And y'all can find my stuff. I post all my articles on there, and then just thesmokingcuban.com is where you can read all of our writers and my stuff. So we post 4 to 5 articles a day. We're super engaged even during the off season. So yeah, y'all tap in because we've been putting up some good numbers, and yeah, I'm looking forward to keep growing it. And yeah,
I definitely do a good job. Like I said, we've used some of your articles, man, on the show.
Yeah,
as a reference, as talking points, man, on the show. So we definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, man, that's gonna probably do it for us today, guys. We definitely appreciate everybody rocking with us, man, for a brand spanking new episode of We Talk Mavs. Listen, guys, if you guys are brand new to the channel, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man, for more Mav content. Y'all already know how we do it over here. We're gonna bring y'all more Mav talk, man, the way y'all like it, man. So we definitely appreciate the support. Also, everybody hit that like button, man. Everyone, please hit that like button to help us build that algorithm up, to help us find more Mav fans like yourselves to join the Glow Yard family, man. Listen, y'all already know how this works too. Go down to the description box. I got all of our social links in the description box, and I also have Noah's information down in the description box below, guys. And one more thing. Oh, this will be up in podcast form today too, guys. I'll have it posted here in the next 30 minutes. So, King, am I missing anything?
Merchandise. Join if you haven't already. Glue Yard Gang member. That should be all down there. Our merchandise is on the page in the description box, I believe, and also on our Twitter page as well. Share and more share, guys, because of you guys that we get folks like Noah on the show. We appreciate you, Noah. Noah, you're always welcome. You're now a member of the Glow Yard officially. So whenever you want to be on the show, bro, you're definitely able to come on here and talk about Mavs. We appreciate you. And let's keep rocking, man. I think it's going to be a good year. Let's go, Mavs.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you, man. George said this too. He said, "See the nightmare, man. Luka getting hurt in fever. Yeah, it's scary, George.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to touch it, man. We already got killed for that, but
he's gonna keep playing too.
Yeah, he's going to. I understand. I understand it. It's not like I don't understand. It's just it's $40 million.
Hey, with a possibility of making close to $500 million.
Yeah.
So. Hey, you gotta talk to King and them about that, man.
I gotta get over there, Uzi. I gotta get over there. As far as when I get over there, I would love for all of us to have a 5-on-5, put it on camera and all that. Don't gotta be that serious. Just playing around being fools. I think it'd be awesome content.
But yeah, man. But yeah, like King said, guys, y'all want to purchase some of our merchandise, man. Go to our YouTube page. Go to the About tab of our YouTube page. Scroll down. It's gonna have Glow merch link, or you can go to our Twitter page. We have a link on our Twitter page, guys. So there you go. With all that being said, man, it is your boy Rail. Got my boy King. We got our guest Noah from the Smoking Cuban, guys. This is We Talk Mavs, where we talk Dallas Mavericks from a fan's perspective. We'll be back here on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Go Mavs, and we out.